This is the story of the indie MMO that shone too bright too quickly. A tale with massive highs and even lower lows. A tale of greed, lies and addiction. TitanReach failed funding on its Kickstarter on October 16th, 2020. An action combat classless MMO based off of the much loved RuneScape. Missing its goal of £311,000, only attracting $98,000, it launched its Kickstarter along with a fully playable demo, which is a rare thing for Kickstarters to do, and definitely lends to their credibility to do what they say they're going to do. Their intentions at this point were good. Shortly after this, they released a blog post that stated their developers were working for free and quickly changed that post to state that they were all working paid. Working on a passion project is absolutely fine, but at least tell the truth. Already, red flags are rising, as there are a lot of discrepancies between their communications. While this is a small thing, and doesn't mean a whole lot by itself, this is just the beginning of this wild, wild ride. After the failed Kickstarter, they started selling support packages on their website to support the future of development. After a successful start, they employed 14 full-time developers to bring this game to life, replacing store-bought assets with custom art and code. But this was short-lived. As of the 30th of August 2021, TitanReach would announce to its Discord that it would be pausing development, so that their developers can go and find other work, as funds had run completely dry. Given the time frame, number of developers, and the known funds they had raised, this was a Discord post that everybody saw coming. They got stuck in their development for so long that they had essentially run out of money, a common occurrence in the indie development scene. Despite their decision to pause development, they decided to keep the beta world servers open for the current users to continue using. A very admirable move by the developers, and a nice parting gift to those who had backed up until now. At this point, you're probably hearing all this praise for their choices and handling of situations, and wondering, where did it all go wrong? Well, sit tight, because this is about to go from the ordinary to the extraordinary. For most indie games, this is the pit of death. No money, developers moving from being paid for their work to now moving on to greener pastures in other studios and companies. But this was not going to be the case for Unravel, the project lead of TitanReach. This is where the story takes an absolutely monumental twist, and honestly becomes unbelievable. But the truth is, this actually happened, which makes it all the more interesting as a story. A complete stranger named Andre Cronje, who had been watching the project from a distance, reached out to Unravel and gave him the offer of a lifetime. I will give you the money needed to complete your game, allowing Unravel to pay his developers above minimum wage and finally see this through to the end. All he said in return is that they, quote, made a good game, with no mention of wanting anything in return, and this purely being a passion investment. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, one that I've never seen an indie studio receive. This offer is the holy grail for indie studios, to be fully funded by a single investor that wants nothing but for you to build the game that they'll love for a lifetime. This was a completely no-strings-attached offer. September the 19th, 2021. With this offer set in stone, Unravel announces to the Discord that the project is back in full swing. Over the next 6 months, TitanReach went full steam ahead, with well-paid developers working tirelessly to build the greatest indie MMO the world has ever seen, even including their own custom networking solutions. Things were looking bright for the future of TitanReach, and this is where the story takes a turn for the worst. February 12th, 2022. Unravel announces the closure of TitanReach as we once knew it. But as all good stories go, he followed up that post by announcing TitanReach was going to become an NFT game, where every item in the game would be an NFT, or non-fungible token, on the blockchain. The Discord reacted exactly how you'd imagine. Unravel was instantly doxxed within an hour of the post, and people were calling for Unravel to be reported for financial fraud, including some people allegedly claiming they had paid to put a hit on him. Following this, Unravel closed the Discord server and vanished, which honestly I can't blame him for, considering the mob with pitchforks that he had on his hands. However, this is a decision that would come back to bite him in the ass very shortly after. All of this had happened behind the backs of the paid developers who had no idea what was going on at all. February the 14th, 2022, in a video released by Kira TV, Unravel had said to Kira that, in his words, he fucked up pretty bad, and that he had gambled 150k of the investors' money on a new cryptocurrency and lost it all. The fact that he came clean and admitted this is honestly admirable, but it doesn't change the fact that this happened. Unravel then continues on to say that he came clean about this with Andre, the angel investor, and Andre instantly cut funding for TitanReach. These messages were sent to Kira TV in what seemed like an attempt to bribe him to stay quiet, as Kira was the only person aside from Unravel who actually knew the identity of Andre at this moment in time. Meaning, Kira would soon find out about the gambling of the company's money, regardless of if he was told by Unravel or not. But, as expected, our boy Kira turned down the bribe and exposed the gambling to keep his integrity. Which, if we're honest, I wouldn't expect anything less from Kira. Despite Andre cutting ties and stopping funding, he offered to make one last payment to clear up taxes for the studio when the time comes, as if he didn't, they would be left in a mess. Now, by no means did Andre have to do this, but this just shows the sort of character that Andre is. Honestly, Andre seems like one of the nicest people you could ever meet, and yet he was screwed over by Unravel. A day later, some employees came forward to shed light on the fact that there were even more company funds missing, beyond the crypto gambling addiction. Unravel had recently purchased a Tesla and had told some of his employees that he was given that money by Andre with express permission to buy said Tesla, and told others that he had purchased it using money he won from the crypto gambling. Now, both of these have already been debunked, as we know that he lost 150k on his first rodeo in crypto, meaning there were no winnings to spend. And Andre did not give him the money for a new Tesla, leaving only one option. Unravel had spent more company money on a Tesla for himself. In addition to this, a previous employee named Echo had scammed Andre for a further $250,000 by pretending to be Unravel during an exchange of cryptocurrency funds. Echo later told Andre that the money he scammed was to pay for his father's medical bills that were spiraling out of control. After being convinced to return the money back to Andre, this absolute god amongst men sent over 50k back to Echo to help towards his father's financial situation. This absolute god amongst men sent over $50,000 to Echo to help towards his father's bills, despite the fact this man just tried to con him out of a cool $250,000. All I can say is Andre is a much better and compassionate man than I could ever hope to be. As it currently stands, TitanReach have stopped accepting money from the public, and all employees have been paid for their time, leaving only two groups harmed. The players who invested early, as they will never get the game that had such a bright future, and of course, Andre, the investor sent from the heavens to resurrect the MMO project that burned too bright too quickly. As the lead of my own indie MMO project, it's absolutely heartbreaking to see such a rare opportunity come and go on a studio that completely wasted said opportunity, and have nothing but a new Tesla and crippling debt left to show for it. I know that for myself and my developers, that opportunity would be a life changer for all of us as a studio. Starting out an indie MMO project is not for the faint of heart. It is a grueling, time-consuming, and at times painful process. Having an angel investor come forward with a no-strings-attached offer is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, one that game developers very rarely, if ever, see. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the story of the indie MMO that burned too bright too quickly. A sad story of addiction, gambling, and lies. After looking into this as a whole, I don't think that Unravel is a bad person. I think he's somebody who let greed get the better of him, who was launched out of a situation of no money, no responsibility, to massive funding and a lot of responsibility. I at least appreciate the fact that he came clean with everything that he did, but it doesn't change the fact that it happened. If you enjoyed this video or want to see more like this, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment down below. As always, a massive thank you to the Patreons. If you guys are watching this as it premieres, I'm going to be live over on Twitch, playing some games and chatting with you guys about this. If Twitch isn't your thing, I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care.